Vanished Without a Trace, also known as They've Taken Our Children, was released in 1993. This is directed by Vern Gillum, it's written by David Eyre, and we have a cast including Karl Malden, Tim Ransom, Travis Fine, Tom Hodges, and various others. And when I discovered this randomly on Letterboxd, and I read the description and thought, I need to watch this now. And I did. I watched it that night because I was aware of this. It's based on a true story, and I won't tell you what happens or how it's, the conclusion of the crime. I don't want to give away too much, just in case you're not aware of it. But it's a story that I found to be very fascinating and very emotional. And as the title suggests, it's about a school bus of children who go missing. And we, the viewer, can see what's happening to them. So I don't want to go into too much detail, but the bus driver is driving the bus and some very nasty people decide to hijack the bus. And their plan is to get ransom money. And, well, I won't say whether it works or if the children are freed or if they get their ransom money, but it's a very moving story, very infuriating story as well, of course. And the true story is really fascinating and definitely worth reading about if you're interested in it. With regards to the film itself, it was very slow. It took about 30 minutes for anything to happen. And the film's only an hour and a half. So it setting up for an entire third of the film was not necessarily necessary. I didn't particularly think the pacing was great to begin with. But once it got going, with the final two-thirds, I thought it was quite powerful, very moving, very, I want to say atmospheric. I could feel what the children were feeling. It was a really horrible environment. Again, I can't really spoil it too much, but it was very easy to feel like I was there with them in that really horrible environment, and that really came across in the film. The children in this did a really great job, really great young actors, great adult actors as well, of course, and definitely quite an emotional film. If you haven't heard of the true story, I'd say, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. If you want to watch the film and find out what happened, I think that's absolutely fine. It is quite true to the story. I'm not an expert on the case by any means, but certainly I knew how it began and how it ended, and that's reflected in the film. So if you're aware of the true story, you'll find it to be a satisfying experience in that regard. But if you're not aware of the story, then absolutely, if you want to watch the film as an introduction to the true case, I think that's absolutely fine to do as well. I enjoyed it for the right reasons. The only real issue is that it was really slow for the first half an hour, but once it got going, it really got going, and ultimately it became a film that I thought was very well done, and needless to say, it's a film that I am happy to recommend.